Hello guys, welcome back, and today we're gonna be talking about Fate Remnant Collide, I meant. Anyway, I'm pretty excited for this episode because let's just say a certain two of people are going to have their own servants, and this time it's not going to be the enemy. So yeah, let us begin. We would go to the perspective of both Millennia and Militia. And by the way, I won't be calling her Millennia anymore because it's just a dumb joke now. Anyway, continuing on. As they're currently watching the fight between, between Rex and the now half servant, actually more like, not demi-servant, I meant the pseudo-servant. Yeah, wait for a second, as one of the girls being that of, I think it was Melanie. Let me just double check because I'm not, because it's been a while since I made made the episode of this. So let me just double check. While both of them were watching, one of them would say specifically, yeah, that's Millennia. The white and blue colored one. As she would say, "Hey, sis, you know what the heck is going on?" She would say, as one of them specifically, the other sister named the Militia would say, "I don't know, but his semblance." As she would look towards not Izuku, I meant Rex, as both of them would be impressed seeing his, semblance up fully, fully in view, allowing him to summon these people that are basically overpowered as all hell, as they would be fighting a now, let's just say, different Adam. If you don't know, in the last episode, he, or more specifically, our boy, caster of Limbo, decided to fuck around and decided to, become a master. More specifically, he became the master of Saber, or in this case, Saber of Imperio, aka Adam, because Adam is now taking in the soul, or I guess you could say the heart? Yeah, the heart of Saber, or in this case, Spartacus. Yep, and he's now Saber of Imperio, as he's currently now rushing towards both. Sorry about that. Let me just clear my throat. Sorry about that. Anyway, continue on. As they would see both Joan of Arc, aka John Diok, as James Moriarty would be acting as support, firing from up top, like in the sky. As while he's doing that, he's also defending, Rex. As currently, they would also see, a certain someone, aka, Watts. As Watts is currently, commanding Ashia to basically summon more familiars, not servants. Technically, those are technically servants in, the Fate universe are a type of, familiar, albeit a really, really, really strong version of a familiar, but still a familiar anyway. But it's not the type of familiars that you're thinking. They're essentially just like those, talismans that he's basically holding in his art. As while he's doing so, he would start creating golems made from dark energy. And also from the debris made by both Saber Imperio, aka Adam, and Joan of Arc, as she's currently using her pole arm as a makeshift weapon or spear. As while this was happening, but all three groups are currently watching all of this, as another person would basically talk up, being that of, as their leader, Nebula would say this to herself: his power. Yep, I'm definitely doomed if we ever fight him in the Pistol Festival, she would think to herself. As while she was watching this, a few of the other members were also watching the fight. As one of his, teammates in Team Wrath would say, Yep, that's boss for you. Or, you know, that's, you know, our friend over there. Let's just say he's quite the overpowered fella, he would say, as he would get ready his, his weapon, aka the bow and arrow, the bow slash pistol thing, as after cleaning it back, he would start treating strings. Doing so, he would fire. Doing so, several strings would split apart. After doing so, the spears would, or I meant the arrow would split into strings, as it would start to restrain the now, angry and also somewhat frustrated, but still laughing at him. As you would say, you really think that would, as while he would notice the strings, as you would say, another restraint. More oppressors, he would say, as he would start ripping off his own arms by essentially, pulling on his own, body, or basically, pushing his body to the limit, as he's letting the strings essentially rip his, flesh, away from his, actual arm, allowing everybody to see the bone and muscle underneath. As after doing so, he would launch his sword towards, launch to, I meant, sorry about that, anyway, continuing on, as he would launch his sword like a spear towards, Rex. When seeing this, Rex would activate one of his, I meant, would activate his weapon, aka Gungnir, transforming it into its, in its shield form. He would block the attack, but it would still pierce the actual, the actual body of the shield. Seeing this, he would say, "Damn it, a shield!" As after saying this, he would transform it back into its, spear form, though it's a bit damaged. As he would say, "Now," as after saying this, one of the, servants, specifically that of Moriarty, would say, "Very well." As he would say, "Now, let there be despair," he would say. As after saying that, he would fire off blast after blast from the, I guess you'd say, lanterns, or, floating turrets, as they would fire towards, Adam, as Adam would be torn asunder, but still laughing after the blast, saying, "You really think that would break my spirit? Then I shall break your bones then," he would say, as he would get ready another weapon, or more specifically, a new weapon, as his body would start changing once again, now resembling this. As it would reveal his new form, as his body would be fully changed. He would still have his horns and, other signature, familiar, I meant, other similar stuff to his old outfit, but now having a Roman theme. As in, he now somewhat resembles the actual heroic spirit that he's taking in. His sword would resemble still like a katana, but a lot larger and straighter. In fact, it's all actually kind of resembles that of a, I can't remember those specific swords names, but they're from Attack on Titan. Yeah, those ones. The ones that look like, not exacto blades, but either way, as he would say this, "Now, you will face the power of my rebellion," he would say, as he would launch the ball and chain towards Izuku, I meant Rex, god dang it, as the ball and chain would rush towards him, as Izuku, I meant Rex, god damn it, as Rex would dodge it away, nearly getting hit by the ball and chain. Seeing this, he would say, "This guy, how tanky he is," as before he can say anything else, we would finally get back to the present, as we would now see the summoning circle as it would start activating, as we would go back to, to the perspective of both Militia and, Melania, play the mic. Okay, I should stop. As when they saw the magic circle happening, they would start seeing something on their arm, or more specifically, you know, Mel- Melanie, or I meant Melanie and Militia. I keep saying their names wrong. God damn it! But either way, as they would see something on their left and right arm respectively, as they would see some sort of symbol that resembles that of well, a rose? Uh, actually, it's not a rose. It looks like an open lily. As when they saw this, the flash of light would basically burst out. As after that, one person would say, "So, another servant has been summoned," said the caster of limbo. As after saying so, the weapon or the servant would be revealed. As the woman would be revealed in a swirl of black and darkness, resembling almost like grim energy, or or like dust from like the grim that basically die essentially. As the woman would be revealed to have pure white hair, white as snow, her eyes a gleaming gold, as she's wearing black, red, and somewhat, blue colored, dress that resembles like royalty. As she would say this, "Servant, avenger," she would say with a cold tone. "May I ask of you, are you my master?" She would say, looking towards the two girls, or should I say masters. Saying these words, Rex would say, "What?" He would say, as you would be surprised. As another servant, being that of Joan of Arc, would say. As when saying this, both Militia and, what is her name again? I meant Melanie and Militia would be looking at each other as they would say, "What do you mean by master?" They would say, they would just be confused at that point. As when saying this, our certain, fucktard over there, aka, caster of limbo, would say, "Hmm. Oh, how interesting. But not a berserker. An Avenger class servant of all things. How interesting. Now, guess it's time for me to show you a little skill that I have learned over the years. Now, seal of annihilation," he would say, as he would throw another one of his seals. Oh, what the Okay, wait. God dang it. Yeah, currently, it's currently a blackout. God damn it. And anyway, I'm just gonna continue the video here, or at least somewhat. Anyway, continue on. As when he uses the Curse of Annihilation, which, if you don't know, is essentially a seal that essentially makes anybody into his, little puppet, essentially. You'll probably know this from, from during I can't remember, yeah, um, the the first ever lost belt, not the first lost belt as in Russia, but the first lost belt ever told, being that of, I think it was the I can't remember the actual name of it is, but it was essentially like, a alternative version of, of Japan, where a certain someone was revived, being that of Amakusa Shiro, and sort of caused a lot of chaos and essentially made the, what's it called? The the let me just check. The Seven Sword Master Holy Grail War. So yeah, that's essentially it. But before you can actually, use the Curse of Annihilation, something would stop it. And so we would end this episode right off here. So yeah, Hope you liked the video, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye!